Good morning. It is Wednesday, September 21st. I took some days off because I needed a little break from work, and I thought I would do a reading vlog for the next 3 days. And tomorrow is officially the first day of fall. So I thought I would do a fall themed reading vlog. I've got some arcs on my TBR this month that I need to get to. That, like, the covers just scream fall to me. So I'm going to be reading those. I will put up the pictures of them. First is Malice House by Megan Shepherd. This is about, I believe, like, a girl comes across a manuscript that her father wrote that is, like, really dark and very unlike anything that he's written before. So she goes back to the house, and, like, there's secrets, and townsfolk keep bugging her about the manuscript, and I don't know what else, but it sounds very interesting. I love an isolated mystery, so looking forward to that. The next is The Dark Between the Trees by Fiona Barnett. This, I believe, is about, I think in, like, 1634, some soldiers fleeing their enemy end up, like, trying to hide out into these woods. And it's like one of those, like, 17 men enter and only 2 live to tell the tale. And then years later, a group of 5 women enter the woods to try to determine what happened to them. And I'm guessing it's, like, spooky woods, so I'm sure some shit goes down. Looking forward to it. And then lastly, I have The Witch in the Well by Camilla Bruce. And this one is about a witch, or a family that gets accused of witchcraft. And I think she ends up drowning in the well. And then a girl tries to write a tale about her. And I don't know if she comes to life or something. Sounds very occulty, and of course witches are, like, classic fall stuff. So those are the 3 I have planned for this reading vlog. All very fallish, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I have a few doctor appointments this morning to take care of, so I probably won't be starting to read until this afternoon, but that's okay, That's what you do on your day off. You take care of shit and then you relax. So that's what's on the agenda today. Yeah, let's have fun and do some fall stuff and get to reading. Woohoo! It's Thursday, in the afternoon. I didn't check in at all yesterday. I had a bunch of doctor appointments, and then my one appointment was horrible and my back was all fucked up, so I read for like a couple hours and then took a pain pill and went to bed. But I did start Malice House, and I think I'm like 20% of the way through that. 30% of the way through. It's very interesting. It seems like there's like some kind of supernaturally stuff going on, but then it doesn't seem like there is. But what's cool is she found this book of her father's called Bedtime Stories for Monsters. And what's cool is she talks about the book being like a collection of short stories written by her father, but each short story, like, we get to read that as part of the book, which is kind of cool. I like that. So it's almost like a book about a book within a book, if that makes any sense. But anyway, it's kind of cool. Yeah. So my Kindle says I have like 3 hours and 31 minutes left in the book. I'm trying to decide if I want to start or finish that or start my second book, which was The Dark Between the Trees, only because I'm dying to read that book. This morning I went and got my nails done, and they're very fall-like. Let's see if I can zoom in. I made them how to do like fall stuff. My color is called Cherry Bomb. And then she did like fall leaf sequins with like little hexagon sequins. So cute. Love it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to continue reading Malice House for a little bit, and then I might switch over to The Dark Between the Trees. I don't have any plans for the rest of the day. I've already done my doctor appointment stuff this morning, so good with that. So, yeah. Let's read. Woo woo. do this with some of my plants. The bark for them to kind of climb on. Hello there. This reading vlog kind of fell apart, but I finished 2 books. I finished Malice House, and I finished The Dark Between the Trees. And I think I'm going to tap out. Call it quits. I'm just struggling to get in the mood to read the 3rd book, and I don't want this reading vlog to go on forever, so I will stop with the 2 books that I read. Malice House, I gave 4.5 stars. It was great. I think this book is going to be very polarizing. I think there's going to be a lot of people going into the book expecting one thing, and I think you're going to get the other thing. You know, it does, how do I say this, market itself with a little bit of supernaturally elements. However, I think you actually get more supernatural than you would expect to get in a mystery thriller book. I personally thought it was great. I loved the kind of book within a book. You know, it's about a girl whose father, who was this very prolific, famous author, passes away, so she goes to the house that he lived in, Malice House, to kind of, like, close the loop on some things, and she ends up discovering a book that he wrote. He had Alzheimer's and dementia, and, you know, he was talking about, like, monsters and his house being haunted kind of there in the end, which, of course, nobody believed him. So she goes to the house and she uncovers this book that he wrote. I'm forgetting the name of it. I think it was like Bedtime Stories for Monsters or something like that. But it was basically like a short story collection, and it's like never before published, never before seen, and it was very different from the literature fiction that he is known for. And that book kind of kicks off the whole story. I thought it was great that they kind of like took pieces of that book and interwove it as like chapter starters, which I thought was just so cool, because you were almost then kind of getting a taste of what the main character was reading. You know, and she would talk about how this book made her feel and the characters that were in it, and then you got a piece of the story, and so you you know, felt more invested, more involved, which was just a really cool thing. And you know, there are some monster-y stuff in there, obviously, with the title being Bedtime Stories for Monsters. So yeah, I thought the supernatural elements were really good. I enjoyed the direction that it went. I thought it was something very different. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great book. And the next story is The Dark Between the Trees. I'm trying to decide whether to give this like a 3.5 or a 4-star. And like, it was, like, I enjoyed it. The woods is very disorienting. You know, happen upon something and then like it disappears and they think they're going east but they're going west, and they're following this creek but then they're not following this creek, and they think they're going out but then they're going farther in. Like, it was just very confusing, which obviously is the whole part of the story, because the forest and the woods are supposed to be like just this like mind of its own, and it really does, the story brings that out, which was very well done. And the whole story is about, in the like 1600s, a group of soldiers ends up trying to flee from the enemies, and they run into the, I think it's called the Mosby Forest, and they're trying to survive in the forest, and like, I think there's like 11 of them that go out, and then 2 come out, and they have all these crazy stories about the stuff that they experienced in there. So we flash forward a while, and a group of scientists, 5 women, get together who all have different scientific backgrounds that have all done thorough research into the phenomena of the forest and what happened to those soldiers. And so they band together and they decide to go on an expedition into the forest, to kind of determine what happened to the soldiers. And the forest has been shut off for decades. Like, once those soldiers came out, like, nobody has ever been in the woods since then, and they're kind of this, like, folklore legend, local legend, so nobody ever, like, enters the forest. So, I mean, it was good. I think there was a lot of repetitive stuff. The point of views, there are 2. You're kind of getting a past and present. The past being the point of view of the soldiers, and then the present being the group of scientists that enter. And it's kind of like, the point of view of the soldiers, they'll experience something, and then it'll cut to the present, and then the group of scientists will experience that same exact thing. So it gets a little repetitive, because it's kind of like using both point of views to kind of get the point across that the woods are eerie, and it's not like one group didn't know what they were talking about because they both experienced it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like they were meant to solve something, but it like got a while, like it took a while to like get going, But yeah, I mean, I think the forest itself, like, the descriptions were crazy. I mean, I really felt like I was in the forest. It kind of was, I will say, if you liked Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer for the sole purpose of this group of scientists entering an area that nobody really knows anything about, and it's up to them to document and experience and uncover like what's going on. I think if you liked that aspect of Annihilation, you would probably like this. And then I think also, if you liked The Ritual by Adam Neville for the foresty depiction and the isolation and fear and all of that those group of friends experienced while they were in the forest, I think if you liked those 2 books, you would probably like this one. Like I said, the descriptions were amazing. It was very, disorientating. I was very confused with the characters. I almost got kind of that, trapped feeling. I did feel at one point a little bit of claustrophobic. Like, it was very well done to settle in that creepy. I think if you're looking for a book to read during the fall, or if you're on a camping expedition and you're already in the forest, like, just go balls to the wall and read the book while you're in that. And I think it would just make for an excellent reading experience. So those are the two books I read. The one I did not get to is The Witch in the Well. But I hopefully I have like a bunch of books started that I need to just like read through them and finish them. I'm trying to see if I can finish them all this week. So hopefully I can knock out The Witch in the Well maybe later on this month, but I did not get it in for this reading vlog, but that's okay. I'm not gonna force it. So yeah, I enjoyed the two that I read. It really got me into the fall vibes, and that's what I was hoping and going for. So yeah, thanks for sticking around for my little short reading vlog with me, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!